Thank you very much. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Krishna Prabhu. Thanks for joining the session. Again, I have conveyed that going through a very busy phase and squeezing in time for this session is really, really appreciated and very, very merciful of your. And thanks to the devotees who have been patiently waiting. And we can open up the session. And as I had requested, please post your questions, and if there are any topics that we'd like to touch upon by Prabhu, please feel free. Unmute yourself, voiceover, or chat. That's the usual drill. Over to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your kind association. So anybody have any questions to start with? Hmm? No questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, while trying to, means I was reading about all the past disciples, and just to correct myself, I was trying to read all those things about the poison theory and so many else also, what the statements they were giving, the old disciples. So when I was trying to read them, I have found so many negative things in those things in ISKCON. What happened when Srila Prabhupada was already existing at that moment in 1976 and 77. So I don't have that much strength to take all those things in. Means when you were reading them, how did you analyze those things, Prabhuji, at that point of time? Means.
Well, it's very interesting. I can just tell you what Prabhupada said, So Prabhupada was telling the Kaviraj that he was poisoned. All those conversations are there. And then one interesting thing was that Prabhupada wanted to go to Govardhan Parikram, and they say you go there, you will die. And Prabhupada said, either Ram will kill or Ravana will kill. Better to be killed by Ram. So that was quite an interesting statement that Prabhupada made. So who is the Ravana that is killing him in the temple? You understand? The statement was made by Marichi. Marichi said, Ram will kill or Ravana will kill. Better to be killed by Ram. So who is the Ravana that's killing Prabhupada in the temple? You understand? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
So that's one statement. And then when Prabhupada asked for some milk, they gave some milk. When they asked how is the milk, Prabhupada says too sweet. So Prabhupada condition, he's a diabetic, so why you put so much sugar? Again, some strange things, Because I leave it to you to decide. I mean, for me, whether you want to understand that Prabhupada is poison or not poison, doesn't make any difference. Our real thing is to carry out his instruction of preaching, Because you cannot go and exhume his body and you're gonna go and do all the kind of tests, it's not going to be practical. So our whole idea is to carry out the instruction of Prabhupada. And those who have done anything to Prabhupada, they will suffer severe consequences. Because the person that is in the center of everything is Tamal Krishna. And I'm sure you know how he left his body. Another person is Bhakti Charu. He was also very strong assistant. And he also is no more here. So all this adds up, Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
So anyway, Prabhupada is poison or not poison, what is the matter? Our whole idea is to preach Krishna consciousness, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji. But not only that incident, just I was discovering, I mean, trying to find out about the other disciples as well who are existing currently. And all those incidents, like now ISKCON, suddenly how it changed and what is happening, like child abuse and so many bad things that were coming up. The reports were there for all those things. When I was reading, it was very sad and disheartening for me to listen, also to read also. Means we will think like Krishna consciousness means it's all about Krishna, Srimad Radharani disciples, Srila Prabhupada's instructions, books and all. But now in ISKCON, we have seen these many things. It's more horrible than the real life incidents, what's in material world that is happening. So suddenly I was not able to take up all those things. Means just for the sake of Krishna, they are going there and they're involved in that web-like situations where they are not able to come out also, and just tolerating that abuse and all.
You want to read?
So
Can you read this purport?
whenever an acharya comes following the superior orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative, he establishes the principles of religion as enunciated in Bhagavad Gita. Religion means abiding by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Religious principles begin from the time one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the Acharya's duty to spread a bona fide religious system and induce everyone to bow down before the Supreme Lord. One executes the religious principles by rendering devotional service, specifically the 9 items like hearing, chanting, and remembering. Unfortunately, when the acharya disappears, rogues and non-devotees take advantage and immediately begin to introduce unauthorized principles in the name of so-called swamis, yogis, philanthropists, welfare workers, and so on. Actually, human life is meant for executing the orders of the Supreme Lord, and this is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.34. Engage your mind always in thinking of me and become my devotee. Offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. The main business of human society is to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead at all times, to become his devotees, to worship the Supreme Lord, and to bow down before him. The Acharya, the authorized representative of the Supreme Lord, establishes these principles, but when he disappears, things once again become disordered. The perfect disciples of the Acharya try to relieve the situation by sincerely following the instructions of the spiritual master. At the present moment, practically the entire world is afraid of rogues and non-devotees. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness movement is started to save the world from irreligious principles. Everyone should cooperate with this movement in order to bring about actual peace and happiness in the world.
So you understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we just have to carry on, try to do what you can do the best, no?
So
Yes?
it is not necessary to know about the history and all, Prabhuji. I mean, we just have to ignore them, or
What you can do with it anyway.
yes.
What does it matter? Every day it's going on in their camp, correct?
Yes. So that we should not commit those, I mean, to analyze ourselves, we should not
As
fall.
long as you follow Prabhupada strictly, then you will be protected. If you don't
Okay.
follow Prabhupada, then you will fall down. Prabhupada said, you don't follow my orders, you become useless. So why you want to become useless?
Okay. So no need to go through all those things, Prabhuji,
Nothing
then.
is necessary. At least for your knowledge, you can go, but what's the use of it anyway? They're all fallen anyway.
Yes.
What's the use of saying the guy is like this, the guy is like that, he did this, he did this, we should say, we should chastise. Oh, but what's the point? You should have stopped it all by following Prabhupada. Now to make things more complicated, you have put women also as gurus. Tomorrow you will make so many changes that you're doing every day. Correct?
Yes.
Now if we
Yes,
stick
Prabhuji.
to what we are doing, we don't have to hear all this kind of stories. Even it does also, it won't affect the consciousness of everyone because everyone is behind Prabhupada. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Your faith will not be broken like if you are a disciple of XYZ, and if it does something like this, then the person will lose his faith in Krishna consciousness. Yes?
Yes.
That's very detrimental. So try to understand, you follow. That's why you're fortunate that at least you got Prabhupada. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. But so many innocent people are being dragged to that, and
Well, we don't know what kind of course, we are preaching. If you are innocent, you will come to us.
yes,
Correct?
yes, Prabhuji. On the name of Krishna only, they're spreading all the bad things and manipulating the minds of common people.
Yes, and if you follow them, you will go to hell along with them. Huh? Yes.
Yes.
Hmm? Leaders who have fallen into ignorance and who mislead people by directing them to the path of distraction, as described in the previous verse, are in fact boarding a stone boat. And so too are those who blindly follow them. A stone boat would be unable to float and would sink in the water with its passengers. Similarly, those who mislead people go to hell and their followers go with them. This is translated by Prabhupada.
So the followers, whoever followed it, is it their past karma that they have to go to them?
Of course, if they are very sincere, why they should be misled? Hmm?
Yes.
So it is definitely something to do with their karma, why they go like that. At least they should inquire, they should question. They are blindly following.
I mean, generally, who has taken birth in ISKCON, they have no other way to apart from that place. So for them, they must follow and surrender to whatever the conditions that it.
You are also there, what? You also got no ISKM temple all around. Why are you taking up the ISKM issue? Huh? Why? You can also go to their temple, correct?
Yes.
So anyone who's sincere, Krishna will direct them, The whole idea is to
Okay.
become sincere.
Okay. So that is lack of sincerity, Prabhuji.
Naturally, if somebody is
Okay.
telling you, you still don't want to listen, then whose problem is it? Yes.
Yes.
So many, in go internet, you can find so many, people are exposing this nonsense and nobody don't want to listen, then who's to be blamed? Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm? Tell me. So we have to become intelligent, that's all. At least you should make inquiries. Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Especially now, Kali Yuga, there's so much nonsense, especially with the internet. You can see the good and you can see the bad also, no?
Yes.
Can be misled, no? Huh?
Prabhuji also means generally we are not initiated now. So as per Shastra, so many verses are there. If we relate our lives with the Shastras, all are like sins only. Whatever we have done so far, it seems like everything is sin. So how to see that, Prabhuji?
Whatever you've done so long, what is that?
I mean, when we relate to the Shastric verses and all, but most of the things are completely like sinful, that the life that we have lived, but it is what everyone is living also surrounding us. So how we have to consider this kind of situation?
Ape chat su duracharaha bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito he swaha. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So, this is the idea. Even though we have done so many things, but if we have taken up devotional service, then Krishna says he is to be considered saintly. If he has taken up Krishna consciousness, you understand? So, it doesn't matter you have done so many things. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for the fallen souls, no? So in Kali Yuga, who is not fallen? Hmm? Yes. So
Yes, Prabhuji.
he said, if you have done it, you have taken up this devotional service, then you're considered saintly. He says here, sadhureva mantavya. And he is properly situated. Because the whole thing is that we have forgotten Krishna. But when you remember Krishna, then everything is set already. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. And another important point here is that see here the word here, Chipram Bhavanti Dharmatma Saswat Shanti Nigachate Kauntaya Pratijan hai Name Bhakta Pranashati. It's a very important words, Krishna says he will what? Although he's done all these mistakes, but he takes up the devotional process. He quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. You see this point? So even though we have done so many nonsense, but when you take up this devotional process, very quickly we become righteous. That means all our sinful things will be burnt. You understand? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And here again, Krishna declares boldly that my devotee never perish. That means he will be protected by Krishna. You follow? So that's why it's very different for a devotee and a non-devotee. A non-devotee, there's no hope for them. Hmm. But for a devotee, Krishna is very careful in helping the conditioned soul to overcome his Maya. That's why I said very quickly you'll become righteous. That means you will not do all the crazy thing again. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That is devotional service is so powerful. The moment you take up this devotional service, three things happen immediately. One is that you get devotion, then you get realization, and then you get free from all sinful activities. Hmm? See here, these three things happen simultaneously. Bhakti para परेश अनुभाव विराक्ति अन्यत्र चाइस त्रिक एक कलह प्रत्या प्रपद्यामनास्य यथा स्नातः स्युस् तुष्टि पुष्टि च्युत अपाय अनुगासम. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord and detachment from other things. So when we speak about detachment from other things, we speak about detachment from sinful activities, lust, anger, greed, so on. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way, the pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. Hmm? So you see, this is what happens. The moment you, although you have got very bad background, So the moment you take up the process, then immediately you get these three things. You get devotion, then you get the realization. The Raki experience of the Lord also means realizations. And then you also become detached from sinful life. So this is the process. But the devotees, always they feel humble, So they always think about their past and how they have done so many mistakes. So this brings about humility, and it is something that, what do you call that, keeps us, in that position so that we will not be overtaken by pride. Hmm? You understand? So
Yes,
all great
Prabhuji.
devotees, they always think like that. Even what's his name? Sanatan Goswami was thinking, I am such a low class person, hmm? uh, and I am so fallen. uh, Correct? Hmm? You can see here how he thinks of himself. Nicha jadi, nicha sangi, patita adama, kuvishaya kupe, paraguainu janama. Sanatan Goswami is saying, I was born in a low family. My associates are all low class men. I myself am fallen and am the lowest of men. Indeed, I have passed my whole life fallen in the well of sinful materialism. I mean, Sanatan Goswami, he is not some small time person who have personally dealt with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see how he thinks? No? Correct? So this is the what we say, if a person who is very advanced only can think like this. If a person is not advanced, he will be always overcome by pride, no? Anyone want to read this verse?
Actually, Sri Sanatana Goswami belonged to a Brahmana family because he belonged to the Saraswati division of the Brahmanas and was well cultured and well educated. Somehow or other, he accepted a ministership in the Muslim government. Therefore, he had to associate with meat eaters, drunkards, and gross materialists. Sanatana Goswami considered himself fallen, for in the association of such men, he also fell victim to material enjoyment. Having passed his life in that way, he considered that he had wasted his valuable time. This statement about how one can become fallen in this material world is made by the greatest authority in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Actually, the whole world is presently fallen into material existence. Everyone is a meat eater, drunkard, woman hunter, gambler, and whatnot. People are enjoying material life by committing the four basic sins. Although they are fallen, if they simply submit themselves at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they will be saved from sinful reactions.
You see how this is the situation, correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Someone think himself as great, then very dangerous situation, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Even Ajamil also, he thought like that I am very low class, I am so fallen. Jai and Vijay also thought like that, as Jagai and Madai. So this is this Trinadapi Sunichena Taroapi Saisuna, the verse. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you can think like that, then you know that you are making advancement. But if you think that you are great, then something is not right, no?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Ajamil said, alas, being a servant of my senses, how degraded I become. I fell down from my position as a duly qualified Brahmana and begot children in the womb of a prostitute. Huh? See that? Alas, all condemnation upon me. I acted so sinfully that I degraded my family tradition. Indeed, I gave up my chaste and beautiful young wife to have sexual intercourse with a fallen prostitute accustomed to drinking wine. All condemnation upon me. See how he is saying? My mother and father were old and had no other son or friend to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived with great difficulty. Alas, like an abominable low-class man, I ungratefully left them in that condition. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's now clear that there is a consequence of such activities. A sinful person like me must be thrown into a hellish condition meant for those who have broken religious principles and must there suffer extreme miseries. So you can see how devotees, although they are safe, they never think that they are very, what we say, thinking that they are very high class and proud, that they have become a very what purified Brahmin or purified Vaishnava or whatever. They never think like that. They always think themselves as lower than the straw in the street, Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. And devotees, one good thing is that they should always be thinking of welfare for others, That's the qualification of a devotee. A devotee should always try to serve uh, others, help others. This is how the devotee should always be thinking. Otherwise, it's very difficult for them to make spiritual advancement. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here I have one doubt that Achamla is praying that my parents were in old condition. I was not able to take care of them. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Leela, one Goswami leave his parents itself and come out of that. So, I mean, Krishna is saying to leave the family and surrender unto me. But here it is saying he's attached to the family as well. So which one at what time, at what
Mataji,
circumstance?
sorry to interject. I'll just see if somebody else has any other question, and then if none, then we'll revisit this one.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
If you don't mind, sorry for that. Hare Krishna, everyone. Is there any other question that you'd like to go over, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I have a question.
Sure.
Prabhuji, my question is regarding demigods and devotees. Pure devotees are above all the demigods, but in Bhagavad Gita 2.62, in the purport, it's mentioned that Lord Shiva, like when Maya Devi tested, so Lord Shiva, uh, like he got allured by the sense pleasure, but Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnav, and then it is mentioned that Haridas Thakur uh, could pass this exam, and but Haridas Thakur is also an incarnation of Lord Brahma. And Prabhuji, I don't remember the chapter, but in Krishna book, it was mentioned that the Vraj Vasis were actually demigods who have appeared to assist Krishna in his pastimes. So pure devotees have been they have been compared to demigods. So what exactly is like difference between devotees and demigods? And sometimes they have been devotees have been called as demigods, Prabhuji?
Devotees are higher than demigods, because they don't have any desires. Whereas the demigods, although they are in the demigod plane, they have a desire to enjoy material happiness. Whereas a devotee does not have that desire to enjoy material happiness. You understand
Yes,
this point?
Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then here, in this verse, you can see that's the difference between the demigods and the devotees. You want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. The activities of demigods lead to both misery and happiness for living beings, but the activities of great saints like you, who have accepted the infallible Lord as their very soul, result only in the happiness of all beings.
Hmm? Yes. So demigods, they can only give you, they cannot, they cannot kind of relieve you and give you all happiness as the devotees. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Those who worship the demigods receive reciprocation from the demigods in a way just corresponding to the offering. The demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow, but sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen.
So when you go, see, demigods can only give you things because of your karma, but devotees, they free you from karma completely. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Devotee is a moment's association of a devotee. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra hoy, Lava Mantra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hoy. A moment's association in devotees, you get, all perfection. But demigod association, you cannot. Yeah? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Despite the cultivation of Vedic knowledge, which is unlimited, and the worship of different demigods by the symptoms of Vedic mantras, demigod worship does not help one to understand the supreme powerful personality of Godhead.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
So, Prabhuji, why pure devotees have been called as demigods at many places?
Pure devotees, yeah. In this case, like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they all are put into situation to teach us, how even you worship a big demigod like Lord Brahma. Of course, Lord Shiva is also a great devotee of Krishna. But when you go to him as a devotee, then he will deal with you as a devotee. But if you go to him for material benefits, then he will deal with you as the demigod. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But if you go to a sadhu, a pure devotee like Sukadev Goswami, they only give you Krishna. They will not give you material benefit. Yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understand? So that's the difference between the pure devotee and the what non-devotee, I mean the demigods. Hmm? For the conditioned soul, the human body is most difficult to achieve and it can be lost at any moment. But I think that even those who have achieved human life rarely gain the association of pure devotees who are dear to the Lord of Vaikuntha. Hmm? You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Simple example, you have been a Hindu, correct? Huh? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You have
Yes,
been
Prabhuji.
worshipping all these gods, whole life, correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Until you got Prabhupada, your life was different, yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Why different? Because of the mercy of Prabhupada, you understood what is the purpose of this human life. But going to the demigods, you never understood nothing,
Yes, Prabhuji.
correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. So which is higher, worship of a pure devotee or worship of a demigod?
Uh, Pure devotee, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So you understand the distinction.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. That's why it says, pure devotees, just by thinking of them, remembering them, I think it's 119, is it? I think this is the verse. Simply by our remembering you, our house become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home. Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly, the word here, sanctified. So devotee's position is, because they're carrying the Lord in the heart, So they sanctify everything. Everybody's life becomes very much purified. That's why we wash their feet, we put on the head, Hmm? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Uh, O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them. Whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. At once, immediately. So a devotee's position is much higher than the demigods, Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mm. You want to read this?
One cannot find permanent happiness even on the heavenly planets, which one can attain in the next life by ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices. Even in material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by rivalry with his equals and envy for those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious fruitive activities, the denizens of heaven are afflicted by fear, anticipating the destruction of their heavenly life. Thus, they resemble kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by enemy kings and who therefore never attain actual happiness.
So, yeah, correct. So what's the position of being a demigod in heaven? You're always like Indra is always worried who is going to take over his position. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
The sadhus, you never read story about a sadhu is very what? Concerned about losing his position. Have you read anything like that?
No, Prabhuji.
Huh?
No, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So devotee's position is more exalted, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is it clear? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hmm. That's why those who worship demigod, they are in the lower stage, Those who worship demigods are like karmis, They want to get some kind of material benefits. Higher than them are those people who are worshipping the Lord for getting out of this material world, this is moksha, right? And of course, there are also yogis who want mystic power. This is also not very high, but one who has become a devotee, then their position is very rare, no? That's why devotee is not considered as very rare. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You can see here this verse, it says, Mukti. Among all kind of people, one who is a devotee is considered very rare, no? Muktanam api siddhanam. You can see this verse. Six, three. See here. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana sudurlabha prasnatma kotiswa api mahamune. Yeah. A great sage among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation. One may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's why we want to be with this kind of devotees so that we get purified, no?
Yes,
So the
Prabhuji.
breakdown is there, you can see here. The whole chapter is speaking about how a devotee. Anyone want to read this?
In this universe, there are limitless living entities in 8.4 million species, and all are wandering within this universe. This is a challenge. The length and breadth of the living entity is described as 1/10,000th part of a tip of a hair. This is the original subtle nature of the living entity.
Just read the translation.
If we divide the tip of a hair into 100 parts and then take one of these parts and divide it again into 100 parts, that very fine division is the size of but one of the numberless living entities. They are all such chit kan, particles of spirit, not matter. If we divide the tip of a hair into 100 parts and then take one part and divide this into another 100 parts, that 10,000th part is the dimension of the living entity. This is the verdict of the chief Vedic mantras. Lord Krishna says, among minute particles, I am the living entity. O Lord, although the living entities who have accepted material bodies are spiritual and unlimited in number, if they were all pervading, there would be no question of their being under your control. If they are accepted, however, as particles of the eternally existing spiritual entity, as part of you, who are the supreme spirit whole, we must conclude that they are always under your control. If the living entities are simply satisfied with being identical with you as spiritual particles, then they will be happy being controllers of so many things. The conclusion that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are one and the same is a faulty conclusion. It is not a fact. The unlimited living entities can be divided into two divisions, those who can move and those who cannot move. Among living entities that can move, there are birds, aquatics, and animals.
Although the living entities known as human beings are very small in quantity, that division may be still further subdivided, for there are many uncultured human beings like Malechas, Pulindas, Bodhas, and Shabaras. Among human beings, those who are followers of the Vedic principles are considered civilized. Among these, almost half simply give lip service while committing a whole kind of sinful activities against these principles. Such people do not care for the regulative principles. Among the followers of Vedic knowledge, most are following the process of fruitive activities and distinguishing between good and bad work. Out of many such sincere fruitive actors, there may be one who is actually wise. Out of many millions of such wise men, one may actually become liberated, mukt, and out of many millions of such liberated persons, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna is very difficult to find.
So you understand the breakdown? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm? So a pure devotee is not some cheap person, you know. Hmm?
Mm. Because a devotee of Lord Krishna is desireless, he is peaceful. Fruitive workers desire material enjoyment, jnanis desire liberation, and yogis desire material opulence. Therefore, they all are lusty and cannot be peaceful.
So you see, pure devotee of the Lord is very hard to find, very, very rare, you know. Here is the verse we quoted just now.
O great sage, out of many millions of materially liberated people who are free from ignorance, and out of many millions of siddhas who have nearly attained perfection, there is hardly one pure devotee of Narayan. Only such a devotee is actually completely satisfied and peaceful.
Yes. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So therefore, a devotee is very rare, no? So if
Yes,
you can
Prabhuji.
find a pure devotee and take shelter, your life becomes successful. Hmm. See? According to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. This is what's going on with us. Some of them have been elevated to the upper planetary system. Some are going down to the lower planetary system. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. You know? Yeah? You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes? So it's not a cheap thing to get the devotee, Prabhupada, a pure devotee like Prabhupada. Hmm? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
After wandering the universe for how many lifetimes? Ah, so therefore we should understand the position of a devotee, you know. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, you take care of it by becoming a gardener and sowing the seed in his heart. We water the seed gradually by the process of Shravan and Kirtan, hearing and chanting, the seed will sprout, begin to sprout. So that's how the whole thing can work, you know. If you don't want to get in the shelter of a pure devotee, then it's going to be a very difficult program. It will not work actually. You cannot just get this by going to demigods. It's not possible. Although, you know, Lord Shiva is there, Lord Brahma is there, they are all also devotees, but you have to go to the current link. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You cannot go and worship Lord Shiva and say, you are topmost Vaishnava, please give me transcendental knowledge. I don't know, he will probably direct you to Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Correct?
Yes.
Hmm. So why you have to go to all the demigods? There's no requirement. Yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mm. Because we don't disrespect them,
Hmm.
uh, but we understand the actual position of everybody. Mm. In fact, Lord Shiva becomes very happy when you go to the demigods. I mean, sorry, you go to Krishna,
Hmm.
becomes very pleased.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Says anyone who is devotee of Krishna is actually my devotee. That means he never say anyone who is my devotee huh, is a devotee of is not very dear to me. He say anyone who is devoted to Krishna is very dear to me, and I am also dear to them. Hmm? Right? Can see here he says. Hmm? Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. See that here? He never say his disciples are very dear to him. He says anyone who is a devotee of Krishna is very dear to me. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes?
Hmm.
Yeah, no. Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you see, so sometimes when Krishna comes, he uses Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma for the purpose of exhibiting his pastimes, so that the others will learn about his supremacy. For example, he bewildered Brahma, and to show that how he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And he bewildered Lord Shiva in the Mohini avatar, so that everybody can see how Lord Shiva, is also not the supreme. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So devotees should see this example just to glorify the character of Haridas Thakur. ah, Krishna make the arrangement. Krishna is always want to glorify his devotees, no? Just like the devotees want to glorify him, Krishna also want to glorify his devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm? Otherwise, how we will know the potency of Haridas Thakur? How do you will know? Will you know? You will not know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. These are
Yes,
all
Prabhuji.
inspirational stories to enhance our devotion, no? Hmm?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Doesn't mean that because of this, the Lord Shiva, he fell down with Durga, therefore he is bad or what. No, we should not find fault like that. They all are doing their pastimes to educate us.
Hmm.
You follow? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hmm.
Great personalities cannot be overcome by some faults.
Yes,
Huh?
Prabhuji.
Hmm? I think this is the verse. Tejyasamna dosen vanne sarvabhujo yatha. Sukadev Goswami said the status of powerful controllers is not harmed by any apparently audacious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire which devotes everything fed into it and remains unpolluted. Understand? So we cannot just try to see that, oh, see, Lord Shiva, demigod is not so, we cannot think like that. Hmm? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. They're very powerful personalities, you know. One who's not a great controller should never imitate the behavior of ruling personalities, even mentally. If out of foolishness an ordinary person does imitate such behavior, he will simply destroy himself. Just as a person is not Rudra, would destroy himself if he drank, he tried to drink an ocean of poison. What to speak of ocean, one small glass is enough, you know. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mm. So we should try now to see the instruction they're leaving behind. Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Just to teach us that if we want to overcome all this lust, then the only way is to become a devotee. That is the moral of the story, that you can overcome if you become directly a servant of Krishna. And chant Hare Krishna. Haridas Thakur, his only business was chanting. Chanted something like 300,000 names of the Lord a day. So because he was chanting, so he could overcome Maya. That is the moral, no? Yes?
Yes,
Not that
Prabhuji.
you chant and become more than Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma. No, that's not the idea.
Hmm.
You follow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, in just now, as you have shown us a verse that where out of many millions of siddhas, only one attains perfection. So only one reaches Golok Vrindavan for certain time period. Like,
There's only one Goloka Vrindavan. Yes. Then what?
I mean, only one who has attained that perfection. Only that one devotee will reach Golok Vrindavan, not any others.
No, by the mercy of the pure devotee, you can also go back. Now you have taken shelter of Prabhupada by his mercy, because Krishna is very pleased. Prabhupada said, if you hold my dhoti, I'll take you back. So if you hold Prabhupada instruction very sincerely and seriously, then he will take you back. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it's on your own strength, I don't know, maybe you can try. But with the blessings of Prabhupada, then you can, because Prabhupada said, I will take you back. So because he will take you back, then what's the problem?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understand.
So we should not try to, always we should try to be humble, you know. Because Prabhupada is very dear to Krishna. If we say anything, Krishna will do, no?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understood.
Krishna himself told the two Nalagwara and Manigreva, you know. Yeah. He said, I've got no business with you, you know. Because my great devotee have said that I have to deliver you, that's why I'm delivering you. Huh? Understand? So because of the mercy of a pure devotee, then we also become purified. Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So therefore we have to understand. See here. Although these two young men are the sons of a very rich Kuvera and I have nothing to do with them. You see the word here spoken by Krishna. I have nothing to do with them. Devarishi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore because he wanted me to come face to face with them. I must do so for their deliverance. You see this point here? It's got nothing to do with them, no business. But because Narada have said, the Lord will deliver you, so I must do so for their deliverance. Huh? Similarly, Prabhupada said, I will take you back, you hold my dhoti, then because Prabhupada said, Krishna will do. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understand? On our own strength, I don't know, maybe you can, but I definitely, would not attempt to do so. I would rather just stick to Prabhupada and pray for his mercy. Hmm? And then, yes,
Yes, Prabhuji.
you will go back for sure, without any doubt. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Any other questions? Hmm.
Um, Prabhuji, can I ask one more question related to the previous one, which I was asking?
Yes, sure.
Ajamala was praying that I didn't take care of my parents; they were on old age. And here, one of the Goswamis, he left the family and he completely served Krishna. So one side Krishna is saying like Sarva Dharman Paritaja, every dharma you have to leave and surrender unto me. Another side, if we think about morals and all, that will become wrong also. So at what point, which one we have to take? This is also Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and that also Krishna only said. So Srimad Bhagavatam. So which one at what time we have to
You
take?
have
There
to
is,
take direction from the spiritual master. Whenever you have doubts like this, then he will, just for example, Raghunath Goswami, I think Raghunath Bhate, he said, you stay at home and you take care of your parents. And when they have left your body, then you can come. And for Raghunath Das, he said, you come immediately, you don't need to stay at home. So two different instructions, correct? To two
yes,
different person. So therefore, you need the help of a guru to help you. You confused, you don't know, so he will guide you. Yes.
yes, Prabhuji, I clearly understand now.
Because without guru, you don't know, what to do, what not to do. So you will rely on your mental instinct, and mentally you will make a decision. Is always going to be disastrous because the mind always make mistakes. No, understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we have to be patient. And I don't know, for women, I don't know there's any question of leaving home. For the woman, the best thing is to have shelter of the parents, and then the husband, and then the children, grown-up children. So these are the three ashrams of the women. They're never trained to leave home and go outside, and that's not correct.
Yes, Prabhuji. I
So,
understand.
but for the man, yeah, if he has to go to the Gurukul, he has to stay in the house of the Gurukul. That is the system. But some of them, like I just gave you the example of two Raghunath, one was staying at home and told to take care of his parents. Another one was told to come immediately. So accordingly, the instruction are given based on person's material situation. So he consulted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what should I do? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu guided them. 2%, all Goswamis, but different, instruction. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So you be patient, and try to become more Krishna conscious, and Krishna will give you or do the necessary, needful. In the meantime, praying to Krishna and Prabhupada. That is the best.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, I don't know. Any other questions? I was going to discuss this verse. This is how we can make advancement. One who desires ultimate self-interest should cultivate friendship with those persons who have accepted Krishna as the Lord of their life. One should further develop an attitude of service towards all living beings. One should especially try to help those in human form of life, and among them, especially those who have accepted the principles of religious behavior. Among religious persons, one should especially render service to the pure devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see this? We read this now, correct? A pure devotee is difficult to find. Yes? So you see how we should definitely try to do, help others. You see. And we should definitely, serve. One should specially render service to the pure devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the highest duty for devotees of the Supreme Lord is to establish friendship with those who have completely surrendered to Krishna and who have thus achieved Sharanagati, shelter at the Lord's lotus feet. One should render service to both the Lord and his devotees, since the Lord is more pleased by sincere service rendered to his pure devotees. One should not only officially offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his devotees and his worshipful paraphernalia, but should actually render service to the representative of the Lord, who are known as Mahabhagavatas. This is a very important point. Sometimes we just say, oh, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yes? Correct? One should learn how to do service. That is very important here. Then you may ask this question, of course, Prabhupada, how am I going to serve him? Prabhupada also wrote to his Guru Maharaj, he said, you are there, you are served with so many devotees. I am so far away, I don't know how I can just simply serve you. Then Bhaktisiddhanta wrote back, said, you such and such dedicated person, I want you to preach this message in the English language, Yes? And Prabhupada took that instruction very seriously. And then because that, you understand the history, how he became very successful. So similarly, we should also try, because, we should try to serve, the spiritual master. Or you should try, if you have a temple around, you can go there and render so many services for all the devotees. Because this will be very pleasing to Krishna. But if you don't, if you simply maintain an official position, Hare Krishna Prabhu, you come like a guest, you simply, don't do any physical service, you simply come here, attend a program and chant and then go back, and this is it's not going to be very healthy for your spiritual advancement. So we should learn how to do something practical, This is very important. If a person doesn't want to do that, then as says here, it's be very difficult to make advancement, difficult to get purified, as we have shown all the examples and say how a pure devotee is so powerful to purify us. So it's our duty to do that service. That's why Krishna says also in the Bhagavad Gita, he said, Tadvidi pranipatena means surrender. Pari prasnena means inquiry. And then you can see this word, sevaya. Sevaya means do devotional service, offer service. Hmm? Hmm. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. And yes, says render service unto him. See that? So we must learn how to do this, And if you think that you have found somebody who's advanced, who's representing Prabhupada, then you should also render service to that person. That's also very important. Because if Prabhupada is physically here, we should serve him. Otherwise, we are going to serve him by his instruction. But there are others who are also representing Prabhupada who may be, very senior and advanced. Then that service also should be there. Yes. Especially if someone is clearing all your doubts. Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Huh? So one should do that. Otherwise, it's just some official, it's not so good. Correct? As Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta used to say, I have a lot of Dandavat disciples, just offering Dandavats only. Huh? So we should try to do this service. Either you can do physically or you can go and take up the instruction as in Prabhupada's case. Then yes, advancement will be there. Otherwise, then you will start opinionating. Someone gives you instruction, no, this one I think this is right. No, this one I don't think is right. I don't think this is correct. You shouldn't have said that, it's not proper. So when you start doing that, because that's what you do when you are in this karmi organization, when you are in this with all these non-devotees, that's all they do. They like something and they hate something. And in an establishment, they are always speaking bad about the management. So that will become a problem. Because if you work with them and you're behaving like that, then you'll carry that consciousness to a spiritual organization like ISKM. And then you start opinionating. Yes. You start finding faults. So when that happens, then your faith will be shaken. And that way, spiritually, you are becoming, what we say, offensive, committing aparats, and one thing after another, then spiritually you become dead. Do you understand? Because of this contamination, this material contamination is very dangerous. Eating meat is dangerous, and associating meat is also very dangerous, Because they subtly you take all their nonsense with you. That's why you're becoming disturbed. When you go to work, you come back, you become what? More purified, is it? Tell me. When you hang around with all these non-devotees, you become very, very what? Spiritually enlightened, is it? Tell me. Very contaminating. You know, it's not a very healthy position. So with this contamination, naturally, you also try to behave like that in the circle of devotees. And you start thinking, how can he say this? How can he say that? Although we show by reference and so many things, still the person is opinionating. So that position is very dangerous. Spiritually, it is detrimental. So we should be very careful. Let not do this kind of thing spiritually. Of course, we never say, of course you can question. Before you become disciple, you should question as much as you like. After you become a disciple, there's no more questioning. As Prabhupada said, you must explain with, yes sir, I will do whatever you say. That is, you can read about it. I think it is on 324, 27 maybe. Give me a minute. I thought it was this verse. Twenty-four 13. So you can read here. Sons ought to render service to their father exactly to the extent one should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with due deference, saying, yes, sir. Two words in this verse are very important. One word is pitari, another word is guruhu. The son or disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument, opinionating, argument. Yes, yes. There should be no instant in which the disciple or the son said, this is not correct, I cannot carry it out. There should be no instant. Is it this point? When he says that, when he says something like that, he is fallen. He is what? Fallen. The father and the spiritual master on the same platform because the spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called Divija, twice born. Whenever there's a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the spiritual master and the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation, with an immediate yes. There should be no argument. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. The import of the Vedic instructions are revealed automatically only to one who has implicit faith in the in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and in his implicit faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his spiritual master. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the meaning of the spiritual revelation is immediately manifest before him. So this is called Yasha Deve Para Bhakti Yata Devi Tata Guru. So you see this point here. So once you come to a spiritual circle where you are dealing with people who are representing, I mean, like Prabhupada or his representative, whoever it may be, who is, showing that he is the representative, not an unbona fide source, then we should be very careful dealing. If we try to bring our kind of a material consciousness into this, then definitely we will commit offenses. Just like it says in the number one offense, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives in propagating the holy names of the Lord all over the world. So someone has dedicated their lives in working under the direction of Prabhupada and all. If we try to kind of opinionate, then we are asking for trouble. Of course, if you are disciple, if you are not disciple, then that's another thing. Then you can go on opinionating, that is your business. But if you have taken shelter and you have given your heart and soul, then that should be the conclusion. Otherwise, it will be like you will be very stationary in your spiritual practice. You cannot make any advancement. As we say, you become a referee. A referee means he blows the whistle when he sees something wrong. So you want to be an official referee in our spiritual program, that's going to be tough. Yes? Hello?
Yes, bro.
Uh, so therefore we should be not getting into this habit of opinionating, I think so, could be done like this, should be done like that. So many kind of speculation. That's why the whole thing is, Krishna says, Tat Vedi Panipatena Pariprasnena, surrender first. Then you talk about inquiry. And then you do service. But surrender is first. So because there's no way you can make any advancement if you don't surrender. Because you cannot, you will do whatever you like. And your mind will tell you do so many crazy things. Yes? Hello?
Yes, bro.
Huh?
Correct. Yep.
Why I'm saying this, because I'm running a temple here and I've got many people who always opinionate, as though they know better. Right? Yes? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, bro.
Huh?
Yeah.
Then you should do, no? You come over, give up your job, you give up your everything, family, what's, move it on. I will be more than happy. Huh? Why stand on the sideline and say so many things? Why? Huh? What? Correct?
Yeah.
Huh? So this is not very good. You're going to fall down if you keep doing these things. Huh? Correct?
Yeah.
And you should also be careful, because if someone else is talking like that, you should check the person.
Yes.
Yes? Because it says, if you hear, huh?
Mhm.
A wise person should not enter an assembly if we know the participants they are committing acts of impropriety. What's the meaning of this word, impropriety? Hmm? What is the meaning? Can anyone say?
Not appropriate.
Definitely not something proper. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes or not? Is it not?
Yes, bro.
Failure, Prabhu, failure to observe standards.
beyond deviation from standards.
Deviation from standards, correct?
Mm.
Is it not? It says wrongdoing, wrongdoing. Somebody doing something wrong, not proper, huh?
Yeah,
Transgressing the Vaishnava principles, yes?
yeah,
Because blasphemy is definitely not Vaishnava principle, correct?
mm.
And if, having entered such an assembly, if he fails to speak the truth, speaks falsely or pleads ignorance, he will certainly incur sin, right?
Yeah,
Like now in ISKM, if somebody is talking bad about all the ISKM thing and leaders and all, and if you don't speak up and say, no, nonsense, I don't want, I cannot hear this nonsense, this is not correct. Or you can, if you have no capacity to defend, at least you should close your ears and walk away, no? Yes. Hello?
yes, bro.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you're not going to stand up, then spiritually you're going to fall down. When you incur sin, means what? You become purified. Huh? Hello? Huh? Tell me.
No, no.
So if we want to make our society strong, I don't say you defend us blindly, correct? Huh? But you must defend. You cannot. Of course, we are doing some crazy thing. That's another thing. I don't think we are doing anything crazy. Yes. Yes or not? Hello. Hmm?
Yes,
Yes,
bro.
Prabhuji.
So therefore, it requires this implicit faith, you know. And Krishna says, if you don't have that faith, if you have doubts, Ashradadana Purusha Dharma Sasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nirvartante Mrityu Samsara Vatmani. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So that is doubts and no faith, faithless, not faithful. Yes, and see here, Arjuna says, Sarvameta ritam manye mam vadasi kesava nahete bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanavaha. See this? O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. So this is the position of a devotee, you know, you have to accept 100%, 100%. Arjuna is saying, I accept totally. Because yes, can you say one sense blind faith, complete faith in Krishna? So our devotees, we should feel and understand this. We have doubts, get it clear. But the determination should be 100%. Not that after you come and then you opinionate and you find fault, and then that's going to be very bad. Huh? Yayin Arjuna confirmed the person of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not known even by demigods, so what to speak of so-called scholars of this modern world. By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood the Supreme Truth, the Krishna, and that is the perfect one. One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He received the authority of Bhagavad Gita as described in 4th chapter, the Parampara system of disciplic succession for understanding Bhagavad Gita was lost, and therefore Krishna re-established that disciplic succession with Arjuna because he considered Arjuna his intimate friend and a great devotee. Therefore, as stated in our introduction to the Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the Parampara system. When the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was like to rejuvenate it, the acceptance by Arjuna and all that Krishna says should be humiliated, then we can understand the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, and only can we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the essence. So I'm just kind of saying that if you want to, of course, if you are have doubt, you can always clear, but that should be done in a more submissive inquiry manner. It's not be in a challenging mood in such a way that you challenge. That's not allowed also. So okay, I guess any questions up to now on this subject? Okay, if you have no questions, I will stop the sharing here. And I'd like to definitely thank you all for your kind
Prabhu?
participation. Hmm.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu, Holy Shri Prabhupada.
Hmm.
Prabhu, just now I was talking to Sundar Srinivas Prabhu, and then he asked me a question. Of course, I answered him. I wanted to know whether my answer is right.
Hmm.
So he was asking, what are the activities of Jnana Yogi?
Hmm.
I mean, what is the end? Because what does Jnana Yogi do?
Hmm. Why you want to know that?
No, he was.
Huh?
If someone asks, he answer.
The Jnana Yogi is meditating on
No,
Brahman.
Jnana Prabhu, Jnana Yogi.
Jnana means the one who wants to get knowledge, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
And usually they all try to speculate.
Yes.
Is it like this? Is it like that? Could be like this, could be like that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they think that God is impersonal.
Okay.
That is the opposition.
And then, Prabhu, I mean, do they start meditating on that, or that's it?
They meditate on 5 demigods, the sun god, the Lord Shiva, Durga, Ganesh.
Okay. Mhm.
They meditate on this on the pretext of because you have to fix your mind on something. So, but when you got yourself to fix on Brahman, then you don't require this demigod anymore.
Okay.
So their whole idea is being very offensive. They
So
say
Prabhu,
they say they also are God.
Okay.
They have become God. Hmm?
so, so Prabhu, I also had a similar a question on the same lines actually. So Jnana Yoga, so it's a wrong connotation saying that Jnana is speculative knowledge, whereas when we do Tadviti Pradhamaya, Tattva Darshinaha, so he imparts that knowledge, which is absolute knowledge.
Hmm.
So translate there's a difference between this Jnana Yoga. So this Jnana is not actual Jnana in that case, right? So it's speculative.
Until you come to the point of accepting Krishna, it is all speculation.
Mm.
No, even Brahman is okay, no, Prabhu. Even those who are understanding Brahman, they are also can be called as Jnana Yogis, right, Prabhu?
They are
Impersonal
okay.
teacher of Krishna.
They're not okay. They are partial realization, Prabhupada said.
No, but
Not
they can be called as Jnana Yogis, no, Prabhu?
Yes, those who meditate on Brahman also usually all these jnana yogis who speculate.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So this position is not very secure. And most of them, especially in today's context, because of following Lord Shiva, they all identify themselves
Mm.
as Namo Narayana. They are one with God,
Okay.
equal to God. You
Mm.
understand? So that is a very offensive platform to say that you and God are the same, one. Of course, we
Mm.
say one in quality, but we are not in quantity.
Mm.
See, that's why the devotee's understanding is complete,
Mm.
whereas the non-devotee's understanding is not complete.
Mm. Okay, Prabhu.
Follow?
Okay, Prabhu. Mm. So, what I'm thinking is, Prabhu, there's this Jnana Yoga cannot be the end, but Jnana Yoga will gradually leads to Dhyana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga we leads to Upasana. There is Bhakti Yoga. Is this right, Prabhu?
Yoga can only be achieved if
Mm.
you meet a
Mm.
devotee.
Yeah.
Without devotee association, you cannot get into devotional platform. That's not possible.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's not
Mm.
possible.
Mm.
It's not by going to stages, you go to Brahman, and then you first, now you go to demigod, then you go to Brahman, then you go to Paramatma, then you come to do. It's not like that. Devotional service can only be obtained by the mercy of a devotee. Otherwise, it's not possible. See? If by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me with mind attached, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Only by becoming a devotee, you get free from doubt. Understand? Cannot otherwise understand Krishna. And that also, this can only come after many, many births. And when you come in contact with the devotee.
Yeah, correct.
Devotional service cannot be obtained by any other method.
Topmost knowledge.
Yes. Not possible.
Prabhu, the Sankhya philosophy taught by Kapila, that comes into which category?
What is that?
The Sankhya philosophy, matter and spirit.
Also by the association of devotee. Kapila is a god speaking to devotee, no? If you try to just study Sankhya like the Mayavads, then it will not possible for you to understand. Understand? Everything, even you read that third canto, you see how only because you're devotee, that you can explain and everyone can understand this. It says very clearly that strongly practicing devotional service. Then yes, you can be free from all doubt. Otherwise, it's not possible. Devotee without devotee is not possible to become a devotee. There's no way. Understand?
So, Prabhu, the question is that the Jnana Yogis. So, without any dependency of Bhakti or Dhyana Yoga, can
Unless
they
favored
go
by
to
a
the?
pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say
But they
nothing of
can
Krishna, one
Sayujya, you
cannot
can get no,
be
Prabhu.
released. Huh?
Sayujya.
Faizya?
Sayujya Mukti.
Huh?
Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya.
Sahujya.
Sayujya. Merging.
Merging.
Yeah.
What about that?
Jnana Yogis, without going to that Bhakti, but they can they still become merged with the Brahman simply with Jnana Yoga?
Yes, they can. Yes, according to that verse, they can enter into that Brahman, but because they don't take shelter of Krishna, they'll fall down again.
Yes, they fall down. That's right.
Understand? Lord Brahma is saying here.
Yes. Yeah, Arvind Vimukta Manina.
You can read.
Yeah. Someone may say that aside from devotees who always seek shelter at the Lord's lotus feet, there are those who are not devotees but who are accepted different process of attaining salvation. What happens to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and other demigods said, O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotees who accept severe austerities and penances achieve the highest position may think themselves liberated, the intelligence is impure, they fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for lotus feet. Yes, Prabhu.
So that's the difference, That's why so many Brahmavadis will be there, but hardly there'll be one devotee, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
We read, no? Devotee position is very exalted, no?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
I mean, you can see all these Mayavadis, what they do, no? Talk so much and then meditate and fall asleep, huh? Then open eye hospital, open this hospital, open school, open do this, all charitable trust here, there, all. Huh?
No, they are actually cheaters, no, Prabhu. They are.
Huh?
But we are talking about the real Jnana Yogis, They are cheaters. These people are.
There's no real Jnana Yogi. I don't know. I have not seen one also.
I never seen also, but according to Shastra, may not be now, but the technical
Met
details.
Sukadev Goswami before he became a devotee, no?
Yes, yes. Mm.
I don't know how many of that Sukadev Goswami categories are there.
And now it is not, they are not there. So that is there.
I see them all so dirty, carrying one kamandalu and smoking ganja. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mm. Okay, I guess that's clear, huh?
Yes, Prabhu. One more thing he asked is that actually Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. So he was asking that creation, maintenance, destruction is done by Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu.
Mm.
Then why do we say that Durga is doing that?
Yes, because she's delegated to do that. Hmm?
Mm. Mm.
Understand? She's the energy, you know. Brahma may be the secondary creator, but she's the energy given by Krishna, correct?
Correct.
Hmm?
Yes.
I don't know. She says
Yes.
she's the shadow, correct?
Yes. Shadow. Yes.
Brahma alone he cannot do unless the Lord gives him the intelligence. No, he's praying. No, please. Every time there's a destruction, pralaya, then when he wakes up, then he again have to pray to get the strength to be to create. Not that automatically he goes and does. No, it's not like that. Understand? All these things are controlled. You know, everyone is controlled by Lord. You know. You mean to say the Lord will simply let you do anything and everything you like? It's not possible. No. Yes. A devotee realize that only by your mercy everything is happening. Whereas the non-devotee, they don't. They think they are the doers. That's why Krishna called them a fool. You see? So
Yes.
as long as we maintain that position of always understanding that Krishna is God, then yes, we are safe. Everything is done by Him. Yes, I'm simply an instrument. And yeah, fine. When you transgress that and think you're big time, then yeah, you will become small time soon.
True.
Understand?
Yes. Yes.
So better be humble, no? That's why the whole program, Tanadapi Sunichena, become humble, no? Whereas these Mayavadis all, they are not humble. They think that they are, because of them the sun is rising, because of them the moon is setting. Too much knowledge, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mm.
Now, according to this verse, Prabhu, like he's saying that even since he's talking maintenance also, so this, I mean, someone asked a question that even Vishnu is under the control of Durga because maintenance, Sthiti is maintaining. Maintaining is the role of Vishnu. So Vishnu is working under Durga. If someone asks a question, like how to answer, he's asking.
The three modes of Mother Nature, they are under the jurisdiction of Durga. Understand?
Yes.
But Krishna is not under the jurisdiction of the three modes of Mother Nature.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes.
He's not. He says here of course, if we can show the Bhagavad Gita is much more simpler for these guys.
413, yeah.
No, you can see in this verse. See here, Krishna says, know that all states of being, Vedi of goodness, passion are manifested by my energy. And I'm in one sense everything, but I'm independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. For they are on the contrary are within me. So how can he be under the control of Maya? Correct?
Yes.
So you must understand this. Modes of mental nature are under my control. What is that verse? Madhyakshana Pakirti.
9, 10, 9, 10. 9, 10, Prabhu.
You hear? Krishna says here, Maya is under my control. The material nature is one of my energies working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving. Under his rule, this manifestation created and annihilated again and again, under my direction and my order, my control. Huh? Yes?
Yes.
Just Bhagavad Gita alone, of course, there are many, many other verses. Krishna cannot be controlled by Maya. Hmm?
So it is just a matter of etiquette because Durga is in charge of this universe, and everything is appears to be acting under her control. But Vishnu is independent, maintaining everything by his own self, right? Appears like Durga is controlling. Is it the proper understanding, Prabhu? Or
Yeah, you see this verse?
this is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. Yes.
But
Okay.
even
Okay.
if you take shelter, you also become free. Then how
Mm,
he can be influenced by Maya? Correct?
mm, mm.
Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
This
So it
one.
just appears like that. Is it? Is it right?
What
Mm.
appears like what?
Because he's in charge, appears to be like Srishti Sthiti all happening under her control.
Yeah.
Mm.
But this is how you bewilder everybody, no? Correct?
Correct. Correct. Mm.
Otherwise, how the living entity will enjoy.
Mm.
Hmm? Can read?
Yes, Prabhu. The personality of Godhead, sorry, the transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material soul's creation, matter and destruction, he accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness.
See?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. Harihi Nirguna Sakshat, you know? You
Yes,
know that?
yes.
I think 10,
11th canto.
huh? 10:5, I think.
11th canto, no? 10 now. 10.
There. Hari
Oh,
he
sorry.
nirguna sakshat purusha prakriti he paraha sa sarvadra gupadrasta tam bhajan nirguno bhavet.
Mm.
Lord Hari, however, has no connection with the material modes. He is the supreme personality of God, the all-seeing eternal witness who is transcendental to material nature. One who worships him becomes similarly free from all material modes. See, this is the
Mm.
position of Krishna. I cannot, Maya cannot touch him, no?
Yes,
Correct?
yes, Prabhu.
Comes under the control of Maya, then how? Then we
Mm.
should be worshipping Maya as all in all. That is not the case.
Mm.
Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Clear, Prabhu.
Clear, huh?
Prabhu, sorry, one more last question.
Hmm.
Last question. So this was asked by one devotee during my last class, last week, Sunday, when I was giving Tamil class. One devotee asked this question. This Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshavastita. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So one devotee asked the question that how come Krishna is saying he's not within us? You know, he is within us in the form of Paramatma. So how he is saying that I am not in them? So how to understand this word, I am not in them? He was asking this.
Prabhupada said, Mr. Ford, he made so many Ford cars, no?
Mm.
All these cars are his energy, no?
Uh,
Right?
mm.
But can you say this Ford is car is Mr. Ford?
No.
That is the example Prabhupada gave.
Mm.
Understand? Everything is coming from Krishna.
Mm.
At the same time, everything is not Krishna.
Mm.
Understand? It is energy. That's correct. Understand? But you cannot take the dog and say this is Krishna. Can you say that?
No. We don't say he is Krishna. Krishna is Sarvasya Saham Hridishanni Vishto. The Lord Krishna is saying that I am inside everybody's heart. It means he is saying I
In
am
his
inside them.
energy, in his energy, he is inside everybody.
Yeah.
Expansion. But
Yes.
personally, he is not there. One.
Achintya Veda type.
Okay,
Hmm?
okay. So I am not in the means actually as the supreme person, as the
Yes,
whole. I'm not
because his
inside. As a,
expansions are there, his energies are everywhere, but I'm not there. You understand?
okay, 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 okay.
Hmm? That's
I'm
why
inside.
Prabhupada
Okay,
gives the example of the fort, the car. Everything is from his energy, but he is not inside the car, no? The fort
okay,
guy. Yes?
okay, okay.
Yes or not?
Yes.
That's why Krishna say like that, I am not there.
Mm.
My energy, yeah, through my energy, everything is manifest, both this
Yes.
material, spiritual, everywhere. But I am
Mm.
not there. Hmm.
Okay.
You
Fine.
follow? Hmm?
Mm.
Dandavat
Okay.
Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The question Prabhu asked previously that Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana. So maintenance is done by Vishnu or Durga Prabhu, because that verse says it is done by Mother
Maintenance is
Durga.
done by Durga through the agency of the Lord. He is the overseer, Maya
Okay,
is
the
like a shadow. That's why in that line, Sisti Sisti Pralaya Sadhana Eka. Chaya means shadow.
Mm.
Lord.
So the shadow cannot work without the real thing, right? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
How the relationship between the Maya and Krishna.
Mm.
You understand?
Yes,
She's not
Prabhu.
independent. She's always she's standing behind his back, Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
One
Fine. Prabhu.
sense he says his shadow, one sense says she's staying in the back. She's never in the front. Huh?
Correct. Correct.
Where is that she says in the front? No?
With the folded hands, Vyasa is saying, no. Maya is just behind Lord with the folded hands.
Thus he fixed his mind perfectly engaging it by linking it in a devotional service bhakti yoga without any taint of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality
Full
along with
control.
external energy which was under full control.
Full control. That's what I said.
Hmm?
Mm. Yes.
You follow?
Yes.
So therefore you have to understand like that, no? Hmm?
Okay.
Yes.
Mm,
Cannot
mm,
think that she's what independent, no? Krishna will never let anybody to be independent. Independent means you are demon.
mm. Correct. Correct.
And the Lord will have nothing to do with demons, correct?
Correct.
Hmm. Why he wanted Yudhishthira, he could have be happy with Duryodhana, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mm.
Why? Because Duryodhana is not a devotee. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. So about that Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam. So can we say that, I gave an example that one is within five, but the five is not within one. I gave the example. Is this the way to understand that? I mean, as a whole, Bhagavan, I'm not dependent on. See, I'm not in the means. I'm not depending on them. Is it something like that context, Prabhu?
No, Prabhupada give the example of this fort and the car.
Or this sloka? Okay. As an
But
energy.
I can only explain in that way, but Prabhupada said.
Okay.
Simple, no? Prabhupada said fort makes all the cars.
Okay.
The car is not fort,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
So we have that example. So I repeat that, no?
Okay. Fine, Prabhu. Okay.
So you have to understand this properly like that, that Krishna is not inside them physically, is not his energies.
Okay. Energy.
Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Say, what is the use of all this detailed knowledge, Arjuna? With the simple
Yes.
spark of myself, I'm pervading everything, right? You know
Yes.
that
Yes.
what?
Yes.
What is that?
10th
1040,
chapter.
1042, I think.
Yes, Prabhu.
Ekam sena stito
Ekam
jagat.
Sena.
Ekam
Yes.
stito jagat. Correct? Ata va bahunaytena kim gyantena tavarjuna vishtabhyam idam krishnam ekam sena stito jagat. But what is the what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. It's very clear one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, true.
Doesn't mean that single fraction, but he is the whole. Is he there inside everything? No. By simple small thing, I'm doing everything.
Yes. Yes.
Correct.
Yes, true.
That's why all this job, all this, he doesn't do, no. He entails it to Vishnu or, Garbhodaj ki Vishnu, Chirodaj ki Vishnu. They all do all this material thing, no?
Correct.
Right? He does not go one step out of Vrindavan. He's there always. Even the killing is an expansion of this Vishnu avatar only, no? Right? He says what Vasudev Krishna goes to kill, correct? That Nanda Kumara Krishna, he never leaves Vrindavan. Yes?
Yes, true.
Yes.
So you must understand like that.
Okay, bro.
Any other questions?
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
Is it clear?
Clear, bro. Clear.
Anybody else? Has got anything else to add or what?
Prabhuji, how many years it took for you to complete all these books reading?
Why you ask such a question?
Because you're explaining everything so nicely that, I don't understand, Prabhuji. Even if I read also, I'll not understand like how you are understanding.
So what should I do? Do a transplant or what?
I just want to know how many years it took for you.
It's not the question of years. It is the question of, how you surrender to Guru. Then he says automatically all this knowledge will be revealed to you, no? You read that, no?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
People are studying for so many lives, no? But the Krishna known as Yadu Kumara is Vasudev Krishna. He is different from the Krishna who is the son of Nanda Maharaj. Yadu Kumara Krishna manifests his pastime in the cities of Mathura and Dwaraka. But Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, never at any time leaves Vrindavan. Right? It is worse. So people ask who's Krishna. Krishna, he is always there with his devotees. Why you want to leave? You won't leave, correct? Is it clear?
Correct, bro. Mataji, Divya Mataji, Prabhu used to read every day. Every day morning Bhagavad Gita, afternoon Bhagavatam, evening Chaitanya Charitamrita, every day. From his beginning of spiritual life, he has read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita so many times.
At least 50.
Every day for so many years. I don't know how many times Prabhu has read all this. Because I have seen 4 years, like every day it is routine. Morning Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, afternoon, evening. I don't know which is afternoon, which is evening, I don't know. Prabhu read every day all these three things. And morning, next of devotion in the Mangala Harati time. Prabhu should have read this so many times. And of course, he is very sincerely devoted to Srila Prabhupada. And that is why, he's a realized soul now. We are so
Yes, sir.
fortunate to take his.
Realized soul, that's a far word. He's trying to become a humble servant of all of you. If I can serve you all, I'm very happy.
Yes, Prabhuji, we are all fortunate actually to get your association.
So all of you, please try, huh?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you for your kind association.
Thanks for association, Prabhu. Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
Prabhu, so much
Thank
for your
you.
your
Hey,
Very
Jai
much.
Jai Jai. Danu.
God bless you.